My name is LaToyia Jones, and I'm the founder of Alive on Purpose, a nonprofit organization that aids to help people find purpose and prevent suicide.
My footprints on the sands of time. No, there was something.
I did Alive on Purpose because I want people everywhere to understand that you are perfectly normal, responding to what has been abnormal in your life. There's things that have happened to me, there's things that have happened to you, and those things, although unfortunate, our response to them were normal. Our response of tears was normal. Our response of screaming real loud was normal to what was crazy in our lives. And people need to know that they're good. People need to know that they're okay. People need to know that they're normal. And Alive on Purpose does just that. It helps you deal with those crazy things in your life, those things that just don't make sense. And it begins to put those things in context, and it makes you understand that what's perfectly abnormal is perfectly normal. I remember being 8 years old, and I remember my mother being addicted to crack cocaine. Her addiction was so strong that there were moments where she forgot she had a daughter. There were moments where she forgot that she birthed a daughter, and she never even knew where I was. There were so many moments in my life where I longed for my mother, I longed for my father, but they just weren't present because of their addictions. That stuff set in. I became a girl longing for their parents. I became a girl that was a byproduct of the foster care system. I was placed from house to house to house, trying to find love, trying to find who I was. Adoption and foster care are one of those things that it strips the identity directly from you. You have no idea how much pain it causes not to know what your mother thought about you, or not to know what your father thought about you, but really have to find your identity in other people. Being placed in foster care really taught me that I had to learn who I was for myself. There was nobody who could tell me who I was. There was nobody who could show me who I was, but I had to really deep down inside find that identity. I looked to people, I looked to friends, I looked to family, I looked to anybody that could give me a sense of hope, anybody that can give me a sense of who I was. Through my struggle, there were so many things that I didn't know how to do. I didn't want a life. I didn't want to be here. Suicide attempt after suicide attempt, I tried to end my life. I tried to find the best way to erase myself from this existence, because if my mom didn't want me and if my dad didn't want me, then how could society want me? How could the same life that I thought was a blessing was the same life that brought me pain? In 2004, my mother died. I remember riding to the house, and I remember trying to get there as fast as I could because I wanted to have those last moments. I wanted to say goodbye just one last time. On the ride there, I began to think that maybe my life would be just like hers, you know. Maybe the addictions and the behaviors and the promiscuity and the things that she did that she wasn't proud of would be the same story that I would have because of my connection to her. On that ride, something happened though. I began to see myself making an impact on other people. I began to see myself being that person who would cause change and would be the change that people wanted to see. Riding to my mother's house, I began to see people who depended on me, people who needed me to live, people who needed me to survive, and all those suicidal attempts became null and void. They became the back of my memory because at that moment, LaToyia was needed. A year or so after that, Alive on Purpose became something that was just circling my thoughts. I was invited to do a workshop at a church, and they wanted a workshop on purpose. I didn't know what I was going to call it, so I kind of fooled around with the computer and called it Alive on Purpose. I never thought that Alive on Purpose would be exactly what it is today. Alive on Purpose is the essence of who we all are. It's our brand that we were embedded with since birth. It's that sense of hope, it's that sense of pride that lets you know that I'm here for a reason, that there's something I must accomplish, and that there's a purpose in my existence. Alive on Purpose wasn't always my story. Alive on Purpose was something that I didn't believe in, but now I understand that everything that I went through, everything that I endured, the deaths, the the abandonment, the suffering, the rejection was all for a purpose. It was all for a reason. There was something that needed to happen out of all of that stuff to begin to give me life. Not only give me life, but begin to impact others around me. Alive on Purpose wasn't just my story anymore, but Alive on Purpose was the story of every person who had ever survived some stuff, every person who had ever went through some stuff, and every person who has looked at their life and said, Lord, why me? And because of that, why me? Purpose exists. So Alive on Purpose is just that. It's the ability to look at your life, to look back on the things that almost killed you, the things that almost took you out, and be able to say, I'm still here. We believe that when you know why you live, you will refuse to die in any circumstances. So Alive on Purpose is just that. We have mentoring classes, we have grief recovery classes, we have classes that help you get over your mother and father wounds, because we just want people to know that what's abnormal is normal. Connected with passion, you'll produce purpose. That's what we do. We are Alive on Purpose. We're here for a reason, to help you cultivate everything that's on the inside of you, to help you foster everything that's on the inside of you so that you can be the best you that you were destined to be from the very beginning. Every single year, 1 million people die from the hands of suicide. Every 14.6 seconds, someone thinks about suicide. So if you think 14.6 seconds away from now, somebody is considering death. People thought about ending their lives because their parents died, or their parents divorced, or they weren't good enough, they weren't pretty enough, they weren't skinny enough. People end their lives because life has worked totally contradictory to the way they thought it should go. The fantasy and the reality were in conflict with one another, and the only solution was death. Man, that's crazy. How can we live only to hope to die? Man, Alive on Purpose is out for those people, man. We want every single person who has a thought of death, 14.6 seconds. We want the person who's thinking about dying because their life has got too hard. We want to help that person understand that they are here, living, existing, and breathing. I refuse to flatline, meaning I refuse to die. I refuse to end my life. I refuse to cut my wrist. I refuse to take a pill. I refuse to put a bag over my head because life has gotten that bad. So instead of killing myself, what Alive on Purpose helps us do is it helps go out and resolve some stuff. It helps us go out and deal with some stuff. It helps us go out and make peace with some stuff, not for other people, but for ourselves. Because I am here, living, existing, and breathing. So if you're watching this video and you've connected with FreshEnomics, I want you guys to consider this. If you're thinking about suicide, if you're connected with somebody who thinks about suicide, or even yourself having past experiences of hurt and pain, man, connect with us. If you want to be a mentor, if you want to touch somebody's life, if you want to reach somebody's life, connect with us. I have teens and adults everywhere who are going through things every day. Without you, there's no Alive on Purpose. So hit us up on the web at I'mAliveOnPurpose.com. Follow us on Twitter at Alive on Purpose, Facebook.com, I'm Alive on Purpose, or call us. We can be reached all over the place at 216-285-08OP. Connect with us. Shout out to FreshEnomics. All right, so what is Fresh? Fresh is purpose to me. It's a person who knows exactly who they are. It's a person who knows why they were created. It's not the clothes you wear. It's not the fashion symbol that you represent, because you can have all of that and be dead on the inside. It's a person who is truly alive from the inside out, that is walking in order, walking where their steps are purposeful, and they know exactly why they're here and what they're supposed to do. To me, that's Fresh.